Welcome everyone, it's Vita here. Today I'm going to talk about the good talking I had during the last Tuesday with Mege, which I actually created a video about, talking about so many stuffs, and I want to recap you guys about everything or most of the stuff we talked about. And of course, because that video was in Italian, and I want to give you guys the same experience about what the argument was, okay? So basically, just to start, we're talking about the bullying heroes. To we just spoken out about the fact that, for example, Tiandi, the dodgy vanguard, can be very annoying, of course, on his dodge animation, and it got a lot of frames, which basically in the middle is quite invincible. You have to read all the stuff you can do from the dodge, heavy, feint slide, another dodge or kick. There is a cool things to know. During the first part of the dodge, he's susceptible to guard break, and during the last part of the dodge, he's susceptible to from attacks. So, like for example, Warden Zone. Then we moved on Nuxia. Our talks are about the fact that she's just valid, quite a flat gameplay, but the good lights, okay? Traps can catch you off guard if you're not super focused, and the flat is quite good, even if not guaranteed. If not blocked, 40 damage right in the face is simply a huge damage to take. At high level, we think she's not the best, she's not so viable, but omnidirectional lights with 400 milliseconds are quite a deal. Not far from being something similar to the Orochi. Shaolin, after some good read to Infinity Post, about the fact that the kick from key stance is not reactable. Of course, we are talking about 400 milliseconds, and Mega confirmed that even skilled players with good reaction time are not super consistent on dodge. This because the animation is super fast, and sometimes even on reaction you'll just have too low time to avoid it, and you get it in the middle of the dodge. So predicting Shaolin's behavior, it's quite mandatory, okay? Top light is basically the same, 400 milliseconds, so having the top guard is mandatory too most of the time. Remember to watch out about zones, since are quite fast. And while argumenting, we're also talking about problems with static guards from non-assassin heroes to switch guard and attacking in the same time, which give you 200 milliseconds delay, meaning you will become predictable on your action, and we would like to see some sort of changes about it to give a sort of reward to attackers and let people do not stare into each other's. In general, we agree to the fact that Shaolin is a very good hero, many strategies, multiple ways to deal damage. Chi stance give you a lot of options like the unblockable, the sweep to drop your enemy down, the light combo, the kick. So basically it's the dodge attack, basically a lot of stuff to do to your enemy, okay? Going forward, we hope to assist to some kind of change for all heroes, following up the kind of philosophy that inspired the devs while creating the Bullies. Talking about the Jiangjun, the JJ, it's quite tough, okay? Sometimes it's frustrating because probably it's because we didn't play enough to understand him properly, but part of the toolkit is about damaging, like for example the damage from the fast light. The damage is pretty high, and of course the dodge attack with a sort of superior dodge properties can be light soft fainted with 400 millisecond speed. The only way to parry those are just on predict, because we agree on the fact that the JJ have a sort of janky animation, laggy sometimes, is not clear, so this means it's not so easy to understand what is he doing in that moment. We understand that it can be difficult to animate the Guandao, and the big guy is really with that huge weapon, but Uvi of course have done a great job indeed. Also, another problem is about a sort of misalignment about heroes' movement and damage being registered. The gap is not high, but it can give a sort of problem if you're willing to parry those, because you expect the weapon to it in a certain moment, but the damage is registered a little bit earlier, so you just get hit, okay? Also in 4v4 situation, all heavy hitboxes are quite wide. Those can external hit you in a very easy way, similar to Raider Zone, so watch out because the heavy attacks has a sort of circular movement which actually cover almost 360 degrees. After bullying introduction, we also talked about some technical issues. One of these is about the guard UHD not giving you the correct input from attacks while in gank. And this can be pretty annoying since you probably will miss easy parries. For example, I don't know, the Kensei is going for a top on block, but someone else is going for damaging stuff, and the indicator is giving you, for example, side hits, and for a moment the top unblock from Kensei will just disappear. So this means if you're watching the indicators, you think, okay, he just fainted, and then nope, you get the top heavy just in right of your forehead because indicators. Talking about hold heroes, we like to see a Shugaki rework because 600 milliseconds on lights and passive hyper armor actually cannot work in the meta. People do not play star games, remember these guys, and attack should be rewarded if the enemy is not capable, I mean, because of the toolkit. This is also mean developers have to give some change to certain heroes. Lawbringers too, for example. A good suggestion for another hero, and here we're talking about Centurion, is about his punches. We quite know the kick is useless at the high levels because it's super reactable, okay? Unless maybe sometimes you can be catched off guard from delayed kicks, but that's another story. Then you will understand the behavior of your enemy and then you adapt. But we would like to see a different stuff on Charged Punch with some track properties like the Warden Shoulder Bash, and that will be a nice 50-50. It should not be able to feint the punch, so this means it's quite a deal, okay? Or is a light punch and then you get a light and then the combo can continue to go on, or just the heavy punch, the target drop down and then you just infirmus them. Also, I forgot to mention the change. We would like to see the Centurion being able to cancel the zone after the first swing. So it should be, some can be able to be safer and then change a little bit the way he plays, you know? Of course, we would not like to see only kick and zone, because, come on, people really need to focus up on so many stuffs during the fight. Just remember also Centurion was released in the season 2. So basically the design was kind of like, okay, just parry, then I gotta break you, and then I'm going to punish you. Depend if just a random heavy, because we are in the middle of the arena, or I'm going to wall splat you. Remember guys, it was designed for those time, after season 5, and even before we assisted to a certain decline, okay? Even after season 5, when actually the devs decided, for the health of the gameplay, to remove granted guard break after any parries, of course Centurion really suffered those changes, okay? Also, we think the community need to be developed a bit, and everyone should understand about the balance state. People need to understand UB team need to focus on top players to work on the highest skill cap instead of everyone. Me too, indeed. We're all forced to improve ourselves in order to understand certain changes. I personally played other PvP game, and the dev always worked on the most skilled players, giving them feedback, what is cool to think to change, because it needs some kind of power up or tweak it down, because probably it's too overwhelming. I do not remember how much UB team selected for this action. I think it's about 3.5%, but trust me guys, in other games, most of the times we're talking about the 0.5% of the entire community, because the kind of knowledge those players have is huge compared to everyone else. That's why they are champions. They just understand the game in a level you guys probably don't even imagine, okay? Also, the kind of mentality of the common player is quite closer, okay? It's quite closed. The community have to understand the fact that if someone is more skilled than you and is saying a certain skill is not OP as you think, you just have two options. One, listening why he's saying this, okay? And then trying to figure out how you can improve yourself. Sometimes this is painful for your personal ego, and everyone just go through this. Me too, okay? Or option number two, you can just say, I am strong, I did nothing wrong. Guys, this is a fighting game. People with this mindset will lose on a 4v4 match, always say, ha, it's the team fault, that guy just makes some mistakes, you know, the time, I don't know, the map, the stuff, the people, you know, it's not working like this. But when you're alone in 1v1, when everything is just about you and you only, when you're losing, okay, you're just pointing the fact that the enemy is using an OP hero, spammy moves, lags, etc, etc, etc. I really suggest you to take some time for you to develop the kind of mindset to grow up, because a fight is a fight. There are multiple factors. Luck can be the first, okay? But remember, everything is just upon choices. You choose to do something, the enemy choose to do something different, and maybe you are beating him, maybe he is beating you. So it's not about, oh, okay, it's about skill, but you know what I understand, okay? Changing a little bit topic right now, we would like to see a revamp for all the heroes to catch up against the new standard the Bullying Clan set it up. In general, we would like to see a major focus from the dev about the balance state, constant patching during the season, and not only every 3-4 months. Also, testing server to check all the changes to give most of the feedbacks, okay? I would like also to say the biggest part of the For Honor community is on console, and console, guys, is not a good place to test, you know, stuff that is working on paper for PC, because, okay, console are console, and I want to separate this, okay? I want to just separate the argument. Since Star game is not a good game, since Star games are not good for the games, is not healthy, okay? And attack is means to open yourself to the enemy. It seems Ubi understood this, and it's trying to rewarding the attack. This is why we are assisting to 400 milliseconds attacks, unblocks, trap, etc. Mege also leaves you guys a question which I would like all of you to answer, okay? Because, guys, we really need to change this game. We really need to change the community, okay? If people want reactable attacks, moves, bashes, unblockable attacks, how do the offensive should works? How you should do damage to the enemy if everything is reactable, okay? I really hope to see many answers to this one. I also leave you guys in the description and during the end of the outro a couple of videos I really think you will like and being interested in, because these are videos that people are putting some effort, okay? So check it out. Thanks for being with me here today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. See you to the next episode, and bye bye.
Ah, ba-da-doo, doodly-doodly-doo, ba-doo. Ah, ba-da-doo, doodly-doodly-doo.